My name is Jay Curley. I'm the Senior Global Marketing Manager at Ben & Jerry's, and so I lead the U.S. consumer marketing team and the marketing side of the global activism and advocacy work that we do. What that really means, though, is I'm about 1/3 traditional ice cream marketer, 1/3 more like a digital storyteller, like a media company, and then 1/3 like an activist manager, trying to run issue advocacy campaigns.
And how's your general experience been of OnBrand, the conference?
OnBrand has been fantastic. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a ton, and it's been just in this amazing space. So it's been a fantastic day.
And personally, I think Ben & Jerry's is one of the only companies that kind of practices what it preaches, walks the talk when it comes to advocacy and activism. Mm-hmm. in terms of making real change. Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think, at Ben & Jerry's, we aspire to be a social justice company that happens to make ice cream. And again, that's the aspiration. Doesn't mean we always live up to it. And we've been doing it for almost 40 years now. And so we have, honestly, the confidence and the experience to be a little bit more bold, and the kind of courage to live our values and to speak up about our values is baked into our culture. That said, it's exciting because we're no longer one of the few companies that are really speaking up and using their voice for good. And more we see more and more businesses joining and using that opportunity, and that's what we want to see. We don't want to be alone. We don't want to be one of the few, right? We really want more businesses to join us and to use their voice and their business operations to kind of create change in the world.
You think in a few years it will be almost imperative for a brand to have some kind of place?
Yeah, I think more and more it already is. I think if you're going to be more than a commodity, you need to build relationships with your customers based on, authentic connections. And people want to know who you are and what you stand for. And that's more than making nice socks or good detergent. It needs to be about who are the people behind the company, what do they care about? And, one of the best ways for a company to do that is just wear those values on their sleeves and work every day to, see those values come to life in the world.
Do you think some companies are afraid to really take stand in case of alienating their customers?
Yeah, a lot of companies are afraid, and it's because, especially bigger companies, they're concerned around alienating people. They're risk averse because they have a lot to risk. And it's smart for people to be cautious, but at the same time, people need to kind of step out and do it for the right reasons. Like we've seen over the years where people fumble, where they're likely trying to make good, earnest efforts, and that may discourage even more people from trying. But my personal opinion is that if you're coming from an authentic place, people will forgive your stumbles. When you're pandering or you're doing it as a marketing campaign, then that's where you get called out.
And which issue do you feel personally most strongly about?
Well, I think in general, in the world right now, the biggest issue that we face in Europe, in the States, in the developed world, really focuses around social equity and these issues around income inequality, racial justice in America. They're so fundamental and they're so seeped into our institutions that it's hard to unravel them, and they're just built right into our culture's psyche. Very few people sit around and want to be racist. or very few people want to sit around and exclude other people from prosperity. But so much of it is just, it's inertia within our institutions. And I think the more that we can expose people to that, and the more we can work on unraveling those bits of around systemic racism in America, around inequality globally, we can really make this world a lot better for everyone. And that's exciting. That's exciting to work on. And it's really hard, but anything worthwhile doing is really hard. So it's worth diving into.